Surprisingly, I read quite a number of books the past few months. Well, not as much as I would like to, but I'm slowly getting out of reading slump, so I guess that's a good thing. And I reread some of my old favorite books too, so that was also fun. But anyway, I chose 5 great books that I love from what I've read recently, and I think that everyone should read them, so here they are. So the first book that I have here is Strange the Dreamer, which is a reread for me, but I still love it just as much as the first time. Okay, this book literally has my whole heart. This is a fantasy novel and I just love the plot and the story is so engaging and captivating. I just have never read anything like this before, and the world building and setting is so well crafted. I just love everything about it, and I can't talk about this book without mentioning the beautiful and lyrical prose because it is honestly so well written. So if you haven't read this before, I would highly recommend picking this one up. The next book on the list is On Earth and Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong, and without a doubt, this is one of my favorite books that I've read so far this year. Also, look how pretty the cover is. This story is essentially a letter from a son to a mother who cannot read. It is so heartbreaking and it definitely destroyed me emotionally. This book reads like poetry even though it's not, which is not surprising because Ocean Vuong is also a poet. So every line and passages in this are just so beautifully written. I literally have so many lines underlined in here because there's just so many good quotes. This book is quite short, it's under 300 pages, but the story is just so impactful. I would also recommend his previous poetry collection, Night Sky with Exit Wounds, if you haven't already, because I love that one just as much as this as well. Next up, I have Piranesi, and I don't even know how to explain the plot of this book. You just have to go into it without knowing anything because the story is just so strange, but in a good way. Not gonna lie, I wasn't really engaged with the story in the first 50 pages or so, but after that, I was definitely captivated. I really enjoyed reading this one. It was weird, but so good. And next up, I have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Okay, at first, I had low expectations going into this one because this book was recommended a lot on TikTok, and TikTok recommendations can sometimes be a hit or miss for me, but I was actually pleasantly surprised because I love this book. The characters are so complex and so well fleshed out. I just love it so much. And no spoilers, but there are a few twists in the story and it's honestly so good. I really want to pick up Daisy Jones and the Six, also by Taylor Jenkins Reid, right after this because I just know I'm gonna love it too. And the last book that I have here is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I think you can sense a theme going on here because just like with Strange the Dreamer, the writing in this is just so beautiful and lyrical as well. I don't know, books that have these types of writing style just intrigues me so much. But not only that, the story in this is just so magical and whimsical. It was definitely really enjoyable for me. There's also a huge cast of characters in the story, so it can get a bit confusing at times, but I could still keep up with the plot. Okay, these are all the books that I have for today. I just love these books so much and I hope you enjoyed them just as much as I did.